my dream, couldn't see my vision. Old school brawler, call me Sonny Liston.
Saturn was a sun worshipped by the Saturnalian. Stupid shit, been true to this. As long as I've been doing this, the common folk, dull, drab, platitudinous. Life is what you do with it. Lose your ground chakra on the goofy shit. The pain of getting crossed without a crucifix. Poverty, the root of it. Power and control got us fucked past the lubricant. Third eye, improving it. Shit.
Extra mile and keep going, that the skies will clear, and you'll begin to see the first signs of the abundance that is
what it is. Everybody wanna know the biz, what it is. You already knowin' what it is. Overtime rap, rhyming hourly. Met up with the distro, had to go increase my salary. Dog, I can carry, you know how the power be. And for the G's, the back of day will freeze your whole faculty. Snakes tryna battle me, but rattle me. Take nines popping, end up chopping down your family tree. Copy, it don't matter me. Imitate your maker, just a greater form of flattery. Art of being pictures on my gallery. Working on my mixes until mastery.
Biting is a fucking like original sin.
Yeah, no biting.
You can do pretty much whatever you want to do in this world of hip, in this realm of hip hop.
Yeah,
but
not bite.
Yeah, taking another person's style, swag. That's the first way to get your ass, as they now say, canceled.
Absolutely. And it's crazy how fast times change.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only 23, 24, but it's just like the shit flip, basically. You know what I mean? You gotta sound like somebody else to get somewhere. Whereas, like, 20, 30 years ago, you still had to keep shit original, authentic. Because if you sound like the next man, motherfuckers, not only is the next man about to be like, nigga, stop copying my shit. But everybody else gonna be like, yeah, he kind of do sound like Beam Me Bada Boom. He ain't original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just that, you know, I'm of course I'm older.
Yeah.
But in my time frame, it was a punishment for that, which was nobody was gonna pay your ass no attention.
That's good.
But now it seems like negativity, even if you would come out and the audience has a negative reaction to you, it seems like now the negative reaction can still move you forward.
Oh, absolutely.
and have a positive result.
There's a like stigmatism in that, like, nowadays, to where it's like all attention is good attention.
Right.
And I mean, most of the time, if you like were raised on shit like morals, not necessarily, you don't always want your good attention mixed in with some bad shit, because that's just gonna tarnish your name. But nowadays, everybody use that clout for another bag, for more, you know what I mean, entertainment purpose, keep their name relevant. It's like, nah, man, just be true to yourself, just be real. But I realize real has a very high price nowadays.
Yes, sir, it does.
So,
hey,
I mean, it is what it is.
We here, ladies and gentlemen, your
Yeah.
boy Rio. Keep on pushing interview series, and today we have a very special guest coming through, Mr. Most Wanted Stef.
Yeah, yes sir. Grr. The villain himself.
We here to chop it up. You're gonna learn about you today, bro.
Let's get it.
We're gonna put my fans, my viewers, the whole community on what you got going on, a little bit about yourself, and your philosophy.
Yes sir.
And how you feel about what's going on in hip hop today. Shit, you know, the conversation already started off pretty dope in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm digging the vibe. Let's get into it.
You know that.
So my first question for you today, what made you choose the name Most Wanted Stef? And is there a deeper meaning behind it?
Well, let me answer the latter question first. Not really. There ain't really too much of a deeper meaning to it. It was kind of something that came up on the fly. I remember when I was brought into my team, Unheard Entertainment. Shout out to my brothers and shit. But when I was brought onto a team, we were taking like headshots, you know what I mean, like pictures. And then it was dope. It said like Unheard Most Wanted. And at the time, everybody was just calling me Stef. So I just like took the name Most Wanted and then put Stef. You know what I mean? I just put it all together. Now I'm just Most Wanted Stef. But also, I like to play on words because it was like Most Stef. I'm like, I could use that too as like another pseudonym. So I'm like Most Stef. It kind of sounds like Most Def. And Most Def is already like one of my favorite artists. So I'm like, I like that steez. I like that. So I kind of also that solidified my name, basically, Most Wanted Stef. So that's pretty much how it came to be.
All right.
That's how it came to be.
What was your first real moment of feeling like an artist? Not just someone rapping, but a true artist.
Shoot, it high key depends, cause like, if you're in a band, I consider you an artist. You're just not putting out you're probably just not putting out music to be streamed. So even before like I got into rapping and production, making beats and stuff, I felt like my first real time as an artist was back in high school in band and steel drums. You know what I'm saying? We'll go out, we'll perform for people. Even in steel drums, we'll do a lot of stage performances, and even to where we're being judged amongst judges of course, but alongside other steel drum bands throughout not even just the low country but throughout like the whole East Coast and shit. So that was cool, and just performing on that magnitude, you just I guess that's my first time experiencing that. You know what I mean? Even before all the actual artistry began, that's my first real moment as an artist. Just, you know what I mean, performing all these songs. So.
All right. Growing up in South Carolina, what about this region shaped your music or your message? And I mean, to add on to that question, did you even grow up in South Carolina? Are you a Carolina native?
I am a North Charleston, South Carolina, Otranto baby. You know what I mean? But, say the question again. Like, what was it like growing up?
It was just like, what about this area helped shape your music or your music or your message?
Well, honestly, shit, it didn't really add nor take anything from it. It just so happens like I'm from the South, and I got more like a East Coast, New York type boom bap feel to my music. You know what I'm saying? The type of people that I listened to growing up were like old school rappers. So I didn't really get into Charleston music until I got into like 8th grade, 9th grade, high school type shit. But even then, it didn't really take nor give to my current status as, you know what I mean, an artist down here. So I don't know.
It's cool that you say that because I relate to that story. Like when I was growing up,
yeah.
The artists that I was listening to, you know, it was the Death Row Bad Boy era, so it was a lot of East Coast rap, West Coast rap, and I didn't really even know that Charleston had a rap scene until I was in high school, 11th grade, 12th grade. That's when I got first put on to like T-Mac and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's cool to meet somebody who has a similar story.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and it's like, I don't know, like, people really don't get pushed like that down here. You really gotta have, like, a friend blasting it or be around those type of people. You know what I mean? More so, I kind of, like, kept to myself the majority of my life. So it's like, I'm a shell, you know what I mean? I really gotta I gotta step outside the box, you feel me? You know what I mean?
It was definitely not a infrastructure that promotes local music that'll introduce the region to it. You friend of a friend, being in the area, being around them people. Yeah. Man, that's pretty much how I found out too.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Word of mouth.
Who were the first people to believe in you as a rapper, and what did that belief do for your growing?
Shit, that's a good question. Because like I said, I got into rapping when I was in high school. So I would just be like freestyling and shit. But I used to actually write for real, you know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean, you just spitting some like high school rhymes and shit like that. But I was actually a good poet and a good rapper. So just being around some of my friends, you know what I mean, showing them shit that I wrote, it was like, damn, you wrote that? I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So just hanging around my high school bros. But it further translated into me joining Unheard Entertainment when I was at the studio with them before I was formally brought onto the team.
Right.
They just knew me for production. They didn't know that I even rap, let alone wrote, you know what I'm saying? So I just like popped out with a verse because my homeboy, he was recording a song. He was like, hey, yo, anybody trying to feature? Nobody was done writing, but I already had songs and shit already written. So I'm just like, let me put a little something to it. And that's when them niggas was like, damn, all right, word. I'm like, wait, what did I do? Was it nice? Like, yeah, hell yeah. So
yeah, that's normally a good reaction.
I'm about to say, so that kind of like sparked the fuel of, I need that.
So in that answer, you mentioned that that they didn't even know that you rap. They knew you as a producer.
Yeah.
So that's what came first, production before the.
Absolute. Before my bad.
Go ahead.
But before I formally just started like thoroughly writing for real now, and actually taking my time to be an actual artist. Yeah, I used to make beats, post beats on YouTube, post beats on BeatStars, was selling beats for a good amount of time, and that's pretty much how they came across me. So, cause like I said, he hit me for a beat, and then he was like, "Yo, pull up to the stew," and I'm like, "Alright, word." And it just so happens they found out that I could rap a little bit too. So
what inspired the production part of your journey? I mean, I'm figuring that the steel drum had influence.
yeah, definitely, man. So our high school steel band teacher, he used to have us compose music. Like we would get on the computer, and not like no Fruity Loops or no Ableton or stuff like that. But there was like this app that you used. I don't know what the fuck it was called, but it was like a school app. We can compose and make music, and then what we will do is take like the sheets, cause it's not like music like, you know what I'm saying, you're doing like some simple production on a MacBook, but literal like chord progressions like you would see a piano player play,
right.
or read. So after we would compose it, then we would play it, and yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically it, you know what I mean? He used to have us compose music, and it pretty much like I had all that music theory in my head, and I just needed help translating it. My boy, he showed me BandLab, and then I started making beats on BandLab and shit, and then that's pretty much what sparked the wave, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at first,
right.
But I was interested, and I'm like, bro, with every like trash sounding beat I made, it kept getting better, until a point where I was just fiending, trying to like find out more, how to like increase my sound, how to do this, how to tweak that, how to do the drums type shit.
And everything self-taught?
Pretty much. Like I would go on YouTube and watch a few videos, of course, you know what I'm saying, but outside of that, like of course to tweak the sound, but outside of that, yeah, I just pretty much learned everything on the fly.
What was your first DAW? I think you just answered this question, but what was your first DAW?
My first DAW, BandLab.
Do you still use BandLab now?
Oh shit, yeah, I be using BandLab. I be using Serato. I be using BandLab. Serato is basically like a DAW where you can chop up your samples and stuff like that,
right.
And make beats on. So, but yeah, BandLab, Serato, a little bit of Logic, and a teeny pinch of Fruity Loops. I don't really touch it like that, but I got the DAW on my MacBook, so it's like every once in a while I'll just go see what's popping, see any like new updates or whatever.
Do you also engineer for artists, like record them, mix the tracks? Whatnot?
Yeah, I wouldn't say for other artists, you know what I'm saying? I'm not to that level yet. For myself, definitely. I'm still learning how to properly mix my own vocals and stuff, but I can mix my own vocals. It probably won't just sound like some 2025 like, commercial shit, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a little bit more gritty, a little bit more grit to it. But not for other artists. For me, absolutely, because I trust myself with my voice, even if it sounds shitty, over another like microphone, or even if I fuck up the mix, it still sounds good to me. So if you ain't like it, hey, go listen to a cleaner song. Go listen to a cleaner song.
Right. How has your personal life, family, relationships influenced your music lately?
In all kind of ways, you know what I'm saying? Because first things first, not only do they influence me just by being them, but I'm pretty much easily influenced when I'm like in love. So shout out to my wifey. But when I love somebody or when I like somebody, you know what I mean, I study them. And when I study them, there's certain things, certain traits that they have that just was like, So, but outside of that, how do they influence me? Just by being them, you know what I mean? Ain't too much more to say, you know what I mean? It's just life. It's just life.
That's the way it go, brother.
Yeah.
When you sit down to write, are you writing from pain, from a plan, or from whatever your head is at the moment?
Definitely wherever my head is at the moment. Cause first things first, I'm not like I love Pac, but I'm not like that type of artist where I'm just like constantly like you gonna try to see my struggle. We all go through a struggle, you know what I mean? So I might paint a picture on one song, but then another song I might be happy as shit. It just all depends on how I'm feeling in that particular moment that I'm writing. So yeah, it kind of like depends on how I'm feeling for real.
What's going on, the vibe, what's happening.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between Stef the man and Stef the artist, or are they the same person now?
I like to say, like, first things first, there's two Stefs. There's Most Stef and then there's MostWanted Stef. I like to, like, have different, like I said, pseudonyms, different aliases. But overall, how I move as a person, as an artist, is definitely the same. But as far as how I market myself, how I put out, project myself into, like, different audiences, social media, and even performances, it's a little bit different. I'm gonna definitely be a lot more cockier, more boisterous, more, you know what I mean, attentive. But how I usually like am like every day, I'm just a chill dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm a chill dude. I get
Just a cool guy.
yeah, just a cool guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't really stress about too much, or at least like try not to let it stress me out.
How do you stay motivated when the progress feels slow, especially in an underground scene like Charleston?
Shit, first things first. How we go about motivation is subjective. I have my own philosophy that is like, if shit is slow, then I gotta do more. You know what I mean? I always got a growth mindset on how I approach things. So if things are slower, if numbers aren't moving, then that just means I need to put in a little bit more work to get them to fucking move. The way Charleston market is set up, like locally for local artists, I could give a shit about it if I'm being honest, because first things first, you're gonna reach the people you need to reach if you're doing what you need to be, like, you know what I mean, if you're doing what you need to do, doing what needs to be done. And second, like I said, my mindset is bigger than Charleston, bro. I love Charleston. Am I gonna try to make it out? Depends on how you say, like, what you mean by am I gonna make it out? Am I gonna move away from Charleston? I mean, probably not. But my mind is much bigger than Charleston. So Charleston is just another, you know what I mean, stepping stone, trying to like appeal to the people down here, my people down here, and then spread like a virus. So overall, my motivation is a lot higher than the things that are put against me. So I don't look at it like that. You know.
Do you believe in writer's block, or is it just life telling you to live more before you write again?
I don't really believe in writer's block. I do believe like what you may be writing at the time may be a little bit trash, but that doesn't mean like there's an actual block. For me, like I was saying earlier, I get influenced and inspired by pretty much anything.
Right.
So I could look at the wall, and if it's like looking a certain way, I could probably make a whole 16 out of it. But like I said, there's life every day. You don't necessarily need to have like a life changing event to like write about life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me, I'll never really experience writer's block because like I said, there's different things to talk about, different things to look at, you know what I mean, different perspectives that could be brought into your writing process. So I don't face like writer's block. Do I always try to like strive for more and my current level might not be at that next level? Yeah, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean I necessarily don't have anything to like, I can't write about anything.
Are there any other art forms that you use to express yourself outside of music?
Oh yeah, shit. I do martial arts. I used to be a drawer and a painter. I mean, my skills like now, but I mean, I still got a little some. But poetry. I actually like art, like not even just making art as far as like I said, drawing and painting, but admiring it. I look at everything as art. So even Earth, you know what I mean? ART is in the middle, so.
Has this been a lifelong passion, or was this something like as you picked up along the journey, someone influenced you, or have you,
Now that's a
been
good
in
question.
tune with creative side?
I've always been more in tune with the creative side. I wouldn't say like I wanted to grow up being a rapper. It just like I said happened out the blue.
Right.
Not that I was following like a trend or anything, but it just felt like that was what was calling me at the moment. And that's what's still calling me as I speak. You know what I mean? Like I said, I used to play instruments back when I was in high school, but I really was like playing shit like the piano and the violin when I was in elementary school. And I used to sing too. So music has like always had an effect on me outside of just listening to it. I would always play music even from like an early age. So yeah.
Is there anybody in your family musically inclined? Like mother, father, sisters, brothers, aunties?
Now that I come to think of it, no, not really. I come from like a family of panhandlers and army people, so you know what I mean. They love music, but they don't make it. You know, they don't make it.
I feel you. How do you decide what's for public ears versus what you keep to yourself?
That's a good question. I feel like as though if I'm getting a little bit more ignorant, then I'll probably keep that more to myself. Like I'll put something like on Bandcamp, for example, if it's leaning more towards the ignorant side. But if it's more on like a positive side or at least like a nice engaging side that's still a part of me, then I'll put it out. It kind of all just depends on the subject matter and what I talk about, because I don't want to feed the market ignorant shit, because there's already a lot of ignorant shit in the market. So I just put out a lot of good stuff that'll either uplift, get your head bobbing and weaving, or feel good, you know what I'm saying? Not that that's going to be the case 100% of the time, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be some music that you're going to either feel or you're going to bob your head back into or make you listen, you know what I'm saying? I like to make you listen and think. Some thinking shit.
Speaking of the music, how many projects would you say that you have put out over the years?
Let's see, I started off in about 2022, 2023. Let's say about 1, 2, 3. I would say about 4. If we're not talking singles, if we just talking like strictly projects, I want to say about 4, 3 or 4.
So which project would be the Behind the Mask project? Which number would that be?
That would be number 1. That's the first EP album that I hopped out with. To like show, you know what I mean, the people a little bit behind me, you know what I'm saying, behind my mask, who I am as a person, what I'm pretty much going to be rapping about and how I rap, and you're going to see the progression as that goes. Like I said, that's just like the introduction, my bad, I can't speak, I'm still a little fucking tired.
Yeah,
but
all day at work.
Yeah, man.
All day at work.
But that was the introduction to me, Most Stef. So Behind the Mask, that's number 1. That's the EP, the first EP.
Which track on Behind the Mask scares you the most? Either emotionally or because of what it revealed about yourself or about society?
That's a good question. Like, scared. Okay. I want to say that's a good question, because I can look at it through different perspectives. As far as like scared, being like emotional, how people are going to look at me because I was putting my feelings out there, I want to say something like either Clouds or Mastermind, because those, not that I don't write from the heart with all my other songs, but those actually came from a place of sorrow, mixed with passion. So as far as that goes, Mastermind and Clouds. As far as like what makes me scared for society, what's happening nowadays, I definitely want to say 7 Levels. It's a passionate song. It's a powerful song. Me breaking down basically like the 7 chakras.
Right.
And there's some things in there that I do highlight. More so towards the end, where I'm talking about, hey, like we go to job, we go to school, and we do all of this, but we're basically draining ourselves. And then we have vices such as like weed, which ain't nothing wrong with weed. Shit, I'm a weed smoker myself. I love weed. But we turn to these vices to cope with these everyday things, such as like work, going to school, and so forth. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. So there is a spiritual thread that goes throughout your music. It's
Absolutely.
great that you mentioned the song 7 Levels because that came up in my research. Where does this come from?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Where does your spiritual influence come from in your music?
The Most High. Shit. I'm not an atheist or anything, but I'm not going to say I don't have a religion. I don't have like a go-to religion. Like I'm not a Christian. My family is Christian, but I don't consider myself a Christian anymore. I acknowledge everybody else's religion, so I guess I'm a little bit more of an omnist because I can see the truth in every religion. But then again, you see that a lot of religions nowadays are like copy and paste. So I kind of just follow the philosophy of, I believe if I can see it, I can believe it. But I also like study things like quantum mechanics, quantum physics to let you know like, hey, even though we might not consciously see it, there's stuff still happening behind closed doors. So I don't have a formal religion, but I still believe that there's a God or a creator to a certain degree because everything is just lined up too perfectly. It's lined up way too perfectly. Where you mean to tell us we're in the exact zone as far as Earth goes, the habitable zone to where it's like right here, it's precise. We breathe, the air we breathe, oxygen, trees, clouds, all of this. We could have had a fucked up atmosphere like Venus or Mercury and shit, but nah, everything is too perfect to where, you know what I mean, we're alive, we're breathing, we're here doing this podcast right now. So it's like there's definitely a creator, a higher being out there, but I just don't know who it is.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
What do you hope someone walks away thinking after hearing your music for the first time?
Damn, that nigga can rap. Like, damn, you know. But nah, to be serious, more so like.
I mean, shit, that was a serious answer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Damn, you can rap.
At the end of the day, it's like, you know, he don't suck. Like,
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that nigga don't suck. Like, shit.
Yeah, I'm about to say it, but yeah, damn, he can rap, but also like. I want them to leave with like a thought. Like I always try to put something witty, like a double, maybe triple entendre, a word or phrase that might, like, you know what I mean, like an old school phrase, like 5 of these when you sneeze or some shit. Yeah. Something that will like make you think like, huh, this nigga just rapped 5 of these when you sneeze. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the fuck. But I definitely want to leave you out thinking something like, okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Other than this nigga can rap.
Yeah,
but
I feel like that's the most important.
Absolutely.
When it comes to rap, you know what I'm saying? Other genres, when you talking about R&B music, of course it's like, you know, just can this person sing? Yeah. How do they sound? But with hip hop, it's always been about the wordplay.
Yep.
And the presence. Can this person rock the crowd? You know.
Yep.
And you know, battle rap. Can this person decapitate his victim?
Yep.
With his lyrical prowess.
Absolute. Been watching a lot of battle rap lately. I ain't lying. I love me some battle rap.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm particularly a fan of battle rap. Yeah. I understand it. I grew up around it. You know, I'm all for it. Yeah. But I think that I just think it's a little bit too petty for my taste, man. I can't be sitting here. This is an awesome talent to have, dog. To be able to take words and put it in story form, poem form, and have a person read it, like understand it, comprehend what you're saying. That's awesome talent to have, man. And to be using it to degrade another person, like, I mean, I get it. Yeah. But I just feel like that's energy that can be redirected.
I agree. That when you put it like that, I definitely agree. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's hip hop. It's a grown man sport. Yeah, it's competition. Like I said, if you wanted to make it in the old school days,
you had to.
Exactly. You had to battle.
You were going to engage in battle rap.
Whether you liked it or not.
There's no way that you were going to call yourself a rapper and have not battled anyone.
There you go. You got to get your notoriety up. That's how you get your notoriety up. That's how you know so-and-so is nice. Nah, man.
That's how you got known in the community. Like, yeah. So, I mean, you know, a part of I went through that Biggie and Pop shit. Like, I was a kid, dog. Them boys killed, you know, niggas died behind rap music. Then fast forward to today, you just had Young Dolph, man. Them boys, man got smoked behind a fucking diss song. You know, like, I mean, that shit got way out of hand behind some...
It became the culture. It became the culture.
So, yeah.
Sorry to say, but it's true.
So that kind of stuff kind of dampens my spirit when we start talking about battle rap and diss songs. But anyway, that's another topic that we can have talk about on another date.
Yeah.
How does being part of Unheard Entertainment sharpen or shape you? Is it more brotherhood or iron sharpening iron?
It's more like iron sharpening iron. We grown men, so it's kind of like hard to hang out. We are forever building our brotherhood, but you gotta understand, I only knew these niggas for about 3 years. I knew a few of them from other shit, like possibly school, but you know what I mean, we just seen each other around. It wasn't like, you know what I mean, we buddies kicking back. But it's more so like iron sharpening iron, you know what I mean? Like iron sharpening iron, you know what I'm saying? We're establishing and building a brotherhood, but with everybody having jobs, you know what I mean? Women at home and maybe possibly kids, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of responsibilities and stuff we got to attend to, so we can't really, well, not that we can't, but, you know what I mean? It's hard to really catch everybody on a consistent basis so we can build a brotherhood. But we do hang out from time to time to try to build just that. However, you know what I'm saying, whenever we do come together, it's like, bro, I gotta make sure I have a better verse than this nigga, or I gotta make sure I have a better beat than this nigga. It's a lot of love and friendly competition in that end, and we always big each other up. You know what I'm saying? We pick each other up. We're there for each other, so it's definitely like a brotherhood. But me personally, I just wanna learn more about my niggas because it's like we on the same squad. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so it's more of a group, collective, or just, you know, record label management type situation?
It's a little bit of all three, if I'm being honest. As a group, we have about, like I said, 6-7 people, but we haven't put out a whole group project. But outside of that, my boy New, who's the spearhead of Unheard Entertainment, he runs it as like, you know what I mean, also a collective and a record label, you know what I'm saying? So that's why when I put out my music, I always put out Unheard Entertainment because that's technically my record label, but I'm also a member, you know what I mean? But kind of just run it like all three. We're a collective, group, and record label. We the movement, we the culture, basically.
How do you find your way in a situation like that when you have, you know, 7 other artists that's doing their thing?
What do you mean, find my way?
How do you represent the collective, represent the crew, but also stand out as an individual artist, performer, just trying to do your thing? Because
I do me. And after I'm done doing me, you always gonna hear Unheard Entertainment. You gonna see me doing this. You gonna see any like type of subliminal messages for me to big up my people and my crew, my clan, my team. So, you know what I mean? I'll shine by myself, and I'll add that shine to my group, you know what I'm saying? Unheard Entertainment, my crew. So, I kind of like use both of them simultaneously with one another. You know what I mean? I promote my artist self, but with me promoting my artist self, I'm promoting the group. You know what I mean? Because that's how it is, yeah.
That's how I go. That's how it's supposed to go.
Ain't nothing more than that.
Your flow is precise but personal. Who did you study to build that style, or did it come from yourself naturally?
I only study legends, bro. Like, as far as what I listen to as well, I only like listening to either legends or high-level rappers, bro. So, my style, I like to say to myself, my style is a cultivation of all the legends that came before me. But a lot of my notable favorites would be people like Nas, MF Doom, maybe like a little bit of Rock Marciano, you know what I mean, some New York rappers and shit. Right. But also you got people like Tupac in there, Eminem, you know what I'm saying, just people who can rap on a nice technical lyrical but still witty level, and still have a sense of actually saying something. Like they're not just saying some blabber jabber bull, you know what I mean? Some BS.
Where does Jay-Z rank with you?
You asking the wrong person about Jay-Z. And all my homies are gonna get mad at me. I don't really bump Jay-Z music like that, if I'm being honest. Like, of course I know a few songs. I'm pretty sure Reasonable Doubt is a classic album, but like I said, I never really listened to Jay-Z because I always had Nas. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm missing out on a lot of classics and shit. I haven't even gave Reasonable Doubt a listen. Like I said, so you asking the wrong person. Hey, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I know there's somebody out there like, what? Yeah, like don't get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
the reason for that question was that you brought up Nas.
Yeah.
But you also brought up like you like rappers that have the nice technical flow to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jay's
so on and
nice.
so forth. And lately, this is just a personal touch right here.
Yeah.
Jay-Z has been catching a lot of heat, as if my boy hasn't been like one of those type of MCs. Like Jay-Z is a technical.
Jay-Z is dope. Jay-Z is dope.
How you want it, type MC.
Yeah.
And that just I just wanted to ask you that. Because I mean, you can hear about how I'm responding. I am a Jay-Z fan.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to hear, get your opinion on that because you.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not too familiar with Jay-Z, even though I could have easily at any point of time. I just was never really drawn to his music. Not that I didn't like it, but it's just like there's other things I would rather listen to. You know what I mean? Nothing against Jay. Like I said, I heard a few songs. I see him everywhere, so it's hard to like not listen to him. And what I hear is nice. He makes great music. He's one of the top, if not one of the best rappers for a reason. He's just personally not my cup of tea. So that's that.
If someone said you remind me of insert rapper, who would be the compliment that feels the most accurate?
Doom.
Doom?
More than likely Doom. That is my all-time favorite rapper. And if somebody was like, bro, you sound like Doom, like I would be like, I can accept that. Cause I heard Nas before too. Nas is a pretty good one, but really Doom, because I don't want to sound like anybody else if I'm being honest.
Right.
But like I said, Doom would be a very high compliment because he is my favorite rapper. So
how did you get put on to Doom?
Shit. Back when I was in high school, there was a producer that I would always listen to every day to freestyle to. Like me and my boys would freestyle to. His name was Lethal Needle. And I noticed that his best sounding beats was always an MF Doom like sounding beat. So one day I just made the conscious decision to start listening to him. Like I always seen them pop up in my music feed, my YouTube feed, but it's just like, what's that? You know what I mean? MF Doom, who's that? But like I said, once I started like listening to all the beats, I'm like, I gotta listen to this nigga. Who is this guy? And it's been up since then. Now, I will say this. My favorite show is also The Boondocks. So, and I was watching The Boondocks since I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Pretty good damn show.
Absolutely. So, as a kid, they had Doom in the action. They had a lot of Doom soundtracks in The Boondocks. And even then, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, who is this? You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know the nigga at the time. But even then, I'm like, who is this? So it's kind of like a coincidence how like I was hearing him as a child but didn't know. And then coming to my adulthood and now he's my favorite rapper. Coincidence? Oh shit, I don't know. I'm about to say facts. That was kind of like predetermined. That was definitely predetermined right there, but
R.I.P.
yeah, man, rest in peace, the villain.
Yes, sir. You got a clear staccato delivery. Does that match how you talk in real life, or is it a character that you step into?
No, it's definitely not a character. I flow like, and I rap like, I'm just trying to put something out. Not like it's not me, but because it is me. I don't have to step into a character, but I don't know. That shit. It's like something I gotta tap into though. You know what I mean? It's all on me, but sometimes it's like something I gotta tap into. You know what I mean? I gotta really feel it, and then it all just comes out. Pause, but you know what I mean? So it's definitely something.
Call it a trance.
I wouldn't say a trance. I would say like a state of being, not even a state of mind, but a state of being.
Like I am the rapper right now.
Yes, I am. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody can call themselves a rapper, but I look at myself as an MC and a great MC. But I can't spit and write like a great MC if I'm not feeling like a great MC. So I'm not gonna even write if I'm not feeling great. That's where all the magic happens. Where I can hop into a stew, like I said, and that kind of like ties back to the question, like the writing question with do I write from like a state of pain, or you know what I mean, how do I, like, what do I write from the state of being that I write from? So you know what I mean, I gotta be feeling great so I can write, rap, and act like I am.
Right,
So
I feel you on that one, brother. Do you approach your visuals, like, you know, your cover art, videos, that type thing, with the same intensity as your lyrics?
That's a good question too. I would say depends. Depends. Like I said, behind the mask, like I love the cover art because it kind of fit everything I was rapping about, including the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? But there's some projects where I'll just put out some cover art because it appeals to a certain image that I'm trying to put out. Not necessarily just the lyrics, but an overall, like, what's a good word I'm trying to look for? An overall projection of what I'm trying to really put out. So the lyrics don't really inspire the cover art. The cover art is kind of inspired by its own ideology. So whatever, like the name of the conceptual album or some shit is gonna be, I gotta find something that will kind of go along with it. But I don't know, it's its own thing, but it still adds on to the overall concept.
It's just another dimension of the artistry that you're putting forth to the people at that time.
Yeah, there we go.
So, like,
That's a good way to put it.
We got the lyrics, we got the actual music part.
Yeah, you gotta break it down in stages, you know what I'm
And now we
saying?
got this album cover that's going to give you a picture of what's going on in my mind.
There we go.
And then each video that we shoot is going to be a whole nother separate, like,
There we go.
The whole lifestyle of what's happening.
There you go.
And it's real. And I mean, you know, in the style, I mean, I love your music, man.
Appreciate you,
Real
bro.
smooth, man, and real cool, man. And you know, you just putting on for a whole nother side of Charleston. Because for those who know the Charleston music scene, I love our music. I love it. I love it. I love it. But it's very energetic.
Yeah. That's a word. That's a word to use.
And, you know,
Oh no, you good?
we good, G.
All right, word.
Boom, we back.
All right, word.
And so, you know, to hear that balanced out with somebody who can give them some smooth shit and it's still on point lyrically is awesome, man. I love to hear it.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. It's definitely something like you were saying earlier. Like, I know I'm taking a different route than a lot of other people, and that's why there are a good amount of people that come up to me like, yo, you dope. Yo, like I said, I respect what you doing. You know what I'm saying? You don't sound like nobody down here. You sound just like yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like to capitalize on. I just want to just keep capitalizing on me, capitalizing off me. So, yeah.
How does that feel when someone walks up to you and says, hey, man, I respect what you're doing?
Inspiring. It's motivation. You know what I'm saying? It lets me know that what I'm doing is right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it lets me know that I'm doing what I need to do and I'm right where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Every compliment, every affirmation is like a step in the right direction for me. So it helps me really stay grounded in my nature and forever motivated, like moving forward. Like, okay, this person, they just said I'm dope. let's go. I'm riding the high off of that energy, and then I'm gonna translate that into some more dope shit. So it's always, like I said, it's always inspiring. It's always motivating. It's invigorating. It makes me feel a lot more alive, if I'm being honest. Like, I could give a damn about validation in a social sense, but coming from a place like music, which I'd put, you know what I mean, I put my life into my music, that it really does, you know what I mean, it really does pause but touch me, you know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate that.
What's something you wish more people understood about Charleston's hip hop scene?
How diverse it really is, because I'm not the only person that sounds like this down here. Like, there's a whole lot of untapped gold down here.
Yes, sir.
There's a whole lot, and like a lot of people can't even comprehend. There's so much different communities, different underground communities in Charleston with different sounds, different people. You can't even really comprehend it. So, oh man, it's just like shit.
And I mean, and it's like, you know, these are the personal friends that we have. You know,
Facts.
I can take,
You would never know.
I can take 2, 3 dudes that I know, and I'll put them up against any nigga in the United States, in the globe.
Yeah.
When it comes to this hip hop shit, man. And I mean, however you want to put it, pop type music,
Mm-hmm.
hip hop, straight, you know, coke rap type shit,
Mm-hmm.
battle rap, got a few of them too. In this 50-mile radius, man. And,
Facts.
you know, one day we gonna get there as a city.
Unity. That's what we need to do.
It's coming,
Unity.
but as of right now, that's what I wish people would understand that too.
Facts.
Yeah, there's a lot going on down here, man. Do you think artists from the South get boxed in more than those from other major cities?
What do you mean by that?
Boxed in, meaning that, you know, there's a particular formula that we have to
High
carry
key.
in order to break through.
Yeah, in a
to the
sense,
masses.
in a sense, I feel like a lot of people down here bite off of what's hot at the moment. So it kind of makes it hard for us to have a unified sound as a city, as a state. You know what I mean? When you got niggas trying to sound like they from over here, even me, like, I sound like I might be from up north. But at the same exact time, it's just more so like, damn, bro, we just need to come together. It ain't really too much big of a deal. But
I agree with you on that point, man. It's not that big of a deal, and we have to we gotta let that mindset go as a fan base. I think
facts.
some of it comes to the education of the fan base, you know.
Definitely.
Like, it's okay to like different things. You know, if you have 2 artists that come from downtown Charleston, and one has a more traditional flow, it's okay to support him as opposed to the other artists that might not have a local regional sound. It's okay to support him as well. 'Cause
Absolutely.
we're all trying to get to the same place, to a sustainable market for everybody.
Absolutely.
To get some money. You
There
know,
we
so
go.
At the end of the day,
There we go.
what responsibility, if any, do you feel as a voice for your generation or for your city?
Well, that shit's easy. I'm just here to make y'all niggas think. You know what I'm saying? Like, outside of like me trying to be the actual best rapper that I can be in point blank period, I just want to have the people think a lot more. And that's what I want to get when people listen to my music. I want you to think, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, rather it be a phrase, a word, a definition. I just want y'all niggas to think more. So that's just me, though. That's just me.
Word. Have you ever felt pressure to chase a trend? And how did you deal with that, if that occurred?
Possibly back when I was like 16, 17, when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing or if I really wanted to start writing and rapping. Like I said, I was writing at the time, freestyling at the time. But like I said, that's around the time where you like easily influenced and you're going to probably be the most influenceable. So around that time, I was writing certain trends, you know what I mean, listening to whatever was hot, writing to that too, trying to do like my own Montana 300 freestyle, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, at that time, but then I just grew to a point where I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna just put out whatever the fuck I want to. If it sounds good to me, then it sounds good to me. Let's see what other people think though. But
So you mentioned Montana
300, yeah.
Explain that a little bit more to me because I'm
Montana
a
of three. Oh my bad. Montana of 300. Like, Chicago. Well, he's not from Chicago, but a lot of people call him like a Chirac rapper. Right when like he was started popping around the time like a lot of other Chirac rappers started popping off.
Right.
He was just more on the lyrical side, which I fuck with because, like I said, a lot of it was just like drill and kill type shit, which I mean was cool for a second, but then you know what I mean a lot of people get influenced by that type of shit. So
So I'm figuring that this freestyle was like a hard ass freestyle that came out for your era.
oh yeah,
Okay,
like
the
for
reason
example,
I
like
asked that
computers.
is because I'm comparing it to when I was younger, and for me it was like the Beanie Siegel going off
Hey beans,
for like 3, 4, 5 minutes or some shit when he was going at the Lockston boy.
yeah.
So anyway, just the old
Yeah.
moment.
Nah, Montana, like I said, that shit was like, what, the 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. Around that time where, like, Chicago drill music just started popping like a motherfucker. So, but like I said, from all of that, of course you had niggas like Chief Keef, but he was one of those lyrical niggas that was actually putting words to get like he wasn't just talking about killing, but he had like a unique way, at least like a unique way of expressing it. You know what I mean? Could actually like storytell, put good words together, mixing like entendres, like had a very good sense of literacy and vernacular. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Montana 300. So.
Right. When you look at the state of hip hop today, what excites you and what worries you?
What excites me? We might be watching the collapse of mainstream hip hop, like right before our very eyes. That hockey excites me because it's like, bro, everybody says everybody sounds the same, but y'all niggas y'all haven't listened to everybody. Y'all just listening to whoever's hot at the time, and they time got a limit. So of course they, you know what I mean, shit's gonna suck when y'all just chasing fast food. Y'all chasing fast food music, but that's what excites me because it's like an underground nigga like me and all my underground niggas, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily like boom bap, but it can be like underground trap, it can be underground like neo soul, jazz rap, all of that. Like we starting to rise. A lot of people are starting to tap in and find out the underground market is where the gold is at. That's where the gold is at. That's where the full course meals are at. A lot of the underground artists are killing it, bro.
And please use social media to your advantage.
Absolute.
That is like that's the trump card, as you say.
Absolute.
That's going to get your message from your living room to the next one. So
that's a fact.
That is an amazing tool. There's a lot of bullshit, but at the same time, there's a lot of good shit. So
I'll say, real quick before the next question, build a team. Build a team. You always, if you're an artist, you always got to make sure you have a producer. You got to make sure you have like a marketing manager. You always got to make sure you have the distribution, whether if you do it yourself, but you always want to make sure you find like something like a DistroKid or a United Masters. You got to make sure you, like said, a marketing manager. That's big. And they can also help you get shows as well to put your name out there. So really build a team of people you trust, but are also good at what they do. You know what I mean? So that could also help as well, getting your name out there.
yeah,
Just want to put that up.
sure you have people that know what they're doing.
Definite.
Snake oil salesman on the team.
Absolutely
Running around in
not.
circles.
Absolutely not.
There's sharks in the water. Do you consider yourself more of a poet, a philosopher, or a street reporter?
Philosopher, easily. At first, I started off as a poet, but now the way I view life, I feel like instead of it having more of a poetic undertone, it has more of a philosophical undertone. And the things that we learn, the things that teaches us, the things that mold us, cause us to either build and or destroy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like as of now, I'm more on the philosophical side.
Let's say that you're starting a church.
Yep.
Not necessarily no denomination. Doesn't have to be a Christian, whatever. What would be one of the tenets that you would want to be your foundation of your church?
Tenets meaning
A philosophy.
like a phrase or something.
Not
necessarily.
You can break it down as a phrase, but a thought that you would want your church to be built on, that you would want your followers to grasp or build their thoughts around?
Got you. Know thyself. That's pretty much it. Know thyself. Know who you are. Learn who you are and start working and building yourself. Once we start becoming like better versions of ourselves, we can uplift our communities. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be like necessarily like our black community, but any community. So know thyself. That way you can learn and grow yourself, basically, because we're like plants. You water yourself, you're gonna grow. So that's pretty much it.
And if you put poison in the water, you will die.
You will die. So that's pretty much it. Know thyself.
What keeps you humble when attention starts coming your way?
Knowing who I really am, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still gonna be the same, like, dude in front of you, in front of 1,000, in front of 1,000,000 people. Because I'm true to myself. I'm modest. And, like I said, I seen empires crumble. I've seen empires fail just because people act a certain way in front of certain types of people and in front of crowds and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not going to let that be me. So I might as well just be me. You know what I mean? So just knowing like, hey, just be you. Everybody else is human. You're human. Just be you. You know, and too big of a deal. But I guess that helps me stay grounded. Having more of a regular person's mindset as far as like how I approach life and shit in situations like that.
Word. If you weren't rapping, if that door was closed and you couldn't do it, or you just never built that interest,
Yeah.
what would Stef be doing today?
Shit, probably production, if I'm really being honest. Like if I wasn't rapping, like I said, before I was rapping, I was producing. And if I was never brought to that studio, who knows what could have happened. I could have probably like never even put out an album or an EP. People will probably just be noticing me for my production. So I'd probably still be doing like production if I never picked up a pen. But I always knew like I'm a creative person and I love music and I've always been around music. So I want to do something with music. So probably would have been production, if I'm being honest, or audio engineer.
Yeah, I'm turned on by that side now. In my older years, as I'm transitioning out of the actual rapping part of it,
Yeah.
I'm really liking the engineering part. I like the time. Just sit down and listen to good music all day, and you tweaking it and shit like that. Man.
Making it sound better.
Yeah, man, I like it, man.
Absolute.
When was the last time you were proud of yourself? Not for a verse, but for how you handled a situation in life.
Shit, I'm proud of myself all the time. Any little small victory is a victory. Shit, I was proud of myself yesterday. Paying, some of my bills down, paying my credit cards down, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's small shit like that. Like, I don't really have too much overzealous, like, stories to be like, I saved the cat in the tree, and then everybody was looking at me in amazement, and I just stood there in awe, and I just felt so proud of myself and my courage. No, man, I'm proud of myself if I can pay my bills on time. Proud of myself if my girl feels good. Proud of myself if my peoples feel good. Proud of myself if I feel good. Like I said, I'm more simple than I think complex, but I'm a lot more simple than what you think. You know what I mean? So,
Easy to please.
you can say that, but it depends, cause I don't know. It's a dualistic nature. Like I said, simple but complex. Simple to please in a good amount of aspects. Complex in others. Like I said, musically, I could hear like just a nice song and be like, that's a great song. But if we talking about like top tier, you know what I'm saying? Like if we get into something like hip hop to where it's like top tier niggas, it's like, okay, I'm very critical on, okay, he's nice with the pen, but he lacks like the flow, the cadence, blah 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 blah. So it all just depends, really, if I'm being honest. But
The ability to enjoy stuff on different levels.
there we go.
It's a general way that I can just listen to a song like, yeah, man, that's a good song. I like that.
Yeah.
But then if you want to break it down to the technicals of it, I can do that as well.
There we go.
If we're going to have that conversation.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that's pretty much how I go about life. That's pretty much how I go about life. Keep shit simple until it needs to get complicated. So, yeah.
3, 2. What would you want on your gravestone as an artist? Just a name, a quote, a lyric, something that speaks for you. What would be your last words to this world?
Love, peace, and soul. Man.
Rest in peace, Don Cornelius, baby. Yes, sir. Motherfucker, yes,
I'm about to say love, peace, and soul, man. Had a good time. This life taught me a lot. Shit. I'm just glad that I got to experience this experience. So deuces, I'm out. On my headstone, let it just say my name and possibly Mighty Most.
Right.
Just Mighty Most, you know what I'm saying? My alias.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the people that we experienced this thing with.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for allowing me to be who I am around y'all. And
Absolute.
y'all can be yourself around me because we just trying to get through this thing.
Together.
That's it.
I'm about to say, and that's absolute facts. Always appreciative for everybody that has me around. So,
Yeah, man.
y'all the reason I do this.
Y'all ain't got to put up with my crazy ass, but y'all,
Yeah.
y'all do.
Word.
I love you for it, man.
Facts, man. Love y'all, boy.
Hey, man. I really enjoyed this interview that we did today, man.
Man, I enjoyed it as well. I appreciate you for bringing me here. I really do.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know what to expect at first. I'm sorry.
When I was, researching what I was about to hear,
Yeah.
I'm, doing YouTube and your videos and your songs and shit, and I'm like, okay, this motherfucker nice. So I'm presently surprised. Like, all right, okay, so this, and then when you come in today, the spirit, the vibe that you bring, man, this was enjoyable for me, bro.
Appreciate it, bro.
I really appreciate meeting you today, man.
Man, you too. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Go grab a beer one day, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll be back here. We'll do another interview. But like I said, I'm very grateful that you brought me here. Haven't really had this setup since like last week. Shit. But love, bro.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Really, man.
So we come to the part where, hey man, you tell the people what you got going on, any projects, the projects that you have out, projects that you might be having coming out.
Yeah.
Outside of that.
So 6/29, that's my birthday, June 29th. I'm dropping a 4-song EP. Excuse me. I'm dropping a 4-song EP. It's called Knowledge God Slide 2. I'm putting out a music video Tuesday. Dropping a music video from one of the songs from Slide 1. And Knowledge God is basically a series of 4 EPs, 4 birthdays. I'm on the second one. And like I said, it's dropping next week. But I'm going to drop 4 EPs each year on my birthday. And on my last birthday, it's going to have 16. I'm going to put it on wax. I'm going to put it on vinyl. And I'm going to actually market it as a whole album. Which, yeah, you know what I mean? Y'all seen me put together each year, you know what I'm saying? You can see my process and how I may cover different things or how I may have grown as far as me dropping in between each year. So Knowledge God dropping 6/29, music video dropping Tuesday. That's this Tuesday. Y'all boy go listen to Heat. Me and my brother Ben Beam, we just put out an album. I was just having fun. He was sending me a lot of dope beats, and I'm like, I got something for that ass. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all boy go check that out. A lot of good rhymes, a lot of good witty shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love the title of that too. That's one of my favorites.
Heat. I'm about to say that's what it's inspired by. We took the photos and all that. Yep.
Pacino.
Yeah, Pacino, Al Pacino.
That's classic.
That's that shit right there. Yeah.
There was something that you said that you're putting one of your projects on vinyl.
Yeah.
Is that in response to what's going on with streaming?
High key, yeah, you know what I'm saying? With streaming, unless you popular, like a lot of these people are only gonna pay you a percentage. I mean, even if you are popular, a lot of these people are gonna pay you like a little minuscule percentage. So as an artist, if you're really trying to build a business out of this music, you gotta find some more tangible things. You know what I'm saying? Some tangible, exactly, to market, so you don't have to just rely on getting people to just listen to your music. There's other ways to go about it. Like I said, that's why I like the art that I use for my EPs and shit, because it's getting me more familiar on the art side of things that I could use to get it as a poster board and sell the poster board type shit, outside of just having it as like a an album on vinyl, like CDs and shit too. You know what I'm saying? All that shit adds up.
I like that I like how vinyl has made a comeback, because it adds to your repertoire as an artist. It gives you something that
Absolute.
It gives you something that your fans, when they buy it, they get a feeling, as opposed to the streaming when they hear it and it's gone
There you go.
in a second.
There you
They
go.
have a more intimate session with you when they listening to your music, man. So if you're able to put your music on vinyl, do it. Great investment.
Very great investment.
And you know it's bringing back the feeling. Like I would prefer the vinyl making a comeback to the CD.
Definite.
CD
Definite.
felt even a little bit more mechanical.
Man, hold on. While you brought that up, yeah, man, because we need some more DJs who do the actual, you know what I mean? The scratches. Man, we need more scratching DJs and not niggas just plugging in playlists and shit. Outside of that, shout out to my boys, you know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Chemist, shout out to my boy, Shout out to my boy Chemist, fuck it. Oh yeah, DJ Dollar Menu. Word, there we go, my bad. But we need more DJs to get on that scratch and shit. Y'all niggas can't just be coming to these clubs, coming to these events with playlists added. Nigga, we could just listen to that shit in the car, bro. Like, add a little flavor to it, man. Do something. Be like J Live or something, you know what I mean? Do a little. But man,
Hey, fuck,
holy.
you gotta get that off your chest right quick.
Yeah, I had to, man, cause I'm trying to be. If I'm going to be in the club, I'm trying to like dance to like, you know what I mean? I actually get jiggy with shit. I'm not trying to just hear a song I could have played in my car and dance to, or played at home and dance to. Like, nah, man. Bring back the artistry in the DJing. Bring back the artistry.
Well, fuck it, man. Since you brought that up, you know, as I do interviews, I also have a show that me and my partners do, Keep On Pushing Live. Where
Okay.
We just talk about whatever the hell is going on in black culture.
Yeah.
And you said we were just speaking about how you're tired of hearing playlists and shit like that. And it made me think about this tweet that a young lady had a few days back where she was talking about how she's tired of the DJs playing these 90s and 2000 playlists in the club. Like, it's a new artist that's out now. They should be playing that shit. Do you have an opinion on that?
If you want fast food, that's for you. Hey, I want to be dancing to some classic shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really be following trends. Like, new songs, they be cool, but like, I don't know, I might be ODD or something, but if everybody is on one song at one point in time, I kind of just like, I shy away from it, because it's like, like the What the Helly song, I'm not about to lie, like that shit annoys me, but everybody plays that shit, so I'm just like, I guess. Like, what the helly? What the hell? I'm like, bro, whatever.
I like that shit, man. But I feel you. I feel you. Well, shit, man, what else you got going on, man? No, like, you know, it seemed like to me, man, you would be trying to get in a movie somewhere or something, man. You're not, you know,
Man.
any aspects of that.
Man, listen, if anybody want to have me or star me in the movie, man, shit, hit me up. I can't say I want to be a great actor, you know what I mean? I probably have my parts, you know what I mean? I probably have my moments just like anybody else, but I'm probably not going to be no damn, you know what I'm saying, like no Denzel Washington or no Will Smith. But get me in there. I could be like a normal sideline character. I can be the chill dude that don't really say too much, but what I say might be a little bit more powerful than the next man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could be like that philosopher type dude, But shit, yeah, man. If there's any movie people out there, hey, hit me up. Hit me up. Most Wanted Stef on IG. Um, but yeah, shit. Outside of that, man, nah. But I try to like keep motion around the clock. Like I do, like I said, I do martial arts. I do taekwondo right now full time. Do sparring on the weekends with shit like Muay Thai.
Any
But
tournaments? Like, do you fight professionally or
yeah,
it's
well,
just training?
right now it's just training. I'm gonna start actually doing shit when I want to say around my red belt, close to black belt, if not definitely my black belt, because I feel like I can murk a lot of these niggas in taekwondo. A lot of these niggas just feel like I don't know,
Where
but
that come from? That's just a sense of competition. Like,
yeah, that might just be the competitive the athlete in me, you know what I'm saying? But um yeah, like I'm gonna probably do it somewhere in the near future.
well, y'all rap niggas better not run up on my man any old type of way.
Man, listen, I wouldn't advise it, cause first things first, if you come to me expecting to fight, bro, I'm not going to fight you, bro. Like, why do I wanna like I learned this shit so I don't have to fuck one of y'all niggas up, bro. Not because I need to, but you know what I mean? I'm always down to spar. If we got equipment and shit and you want to spar, hey, yeah, let's spar. Cause I like competitive shit like that. But don't try to run up on me. Don't get turned into an example. Cause I'm probably, if it's within my grounds, I'm probably not even going to hit you with a punch if I got my gun on me. So I wouldn't advise that either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We all about self-defense. So
Absolutely.
self-defense.
I put it like this. I'm too chill of a dude for you to have to run up on me. Like, if you truly have a problem, then exactly. Like, I'm an adult, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a childish person.
It's all about love, man.
Facts, you know what I'm saying?
Come in peace, man.
So if somebody try running up on me, you know what I'm saying? Fuck the taekwondo, man. It's dangerous out here, bro. It's dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Shit, man. Like, hey, man, I don't have any more questions for you. If there's not anything else that you want to shout out to the people, I appreciate you coming through.
Like I said, one more time, I be the host with the most wanted Stef, aka Most Stef, aka Mad Slade. That's the producer alias. Shout out to my team, shout out to my brothers, shout out to Unheard Entertainment, shout out to New, Chemist, Tony, Dre, Ben, and Cam. Y'all my brothers. And hopefully we about to keep getting this ball rolling, build a snowball effect to where we get so big we don't even need to move, but we already causing a landslide. So, you know what I mean? It's Unheard Entertainment, the virus infecting your low country area. I be the most. Peace.
It's Rio, here with Most Wanted Stef, Black Dollars Media. Check it out. Y'all be easy out here, man.
Let's get it.